guys, it's Derek with Colorado Camper Van. Here today to talk to you about pop tops and the differences, just to educate you so you know what to look for when you're shopping for a pop top and see what things you may or may not want in your top. Okay, so now I'm sitting in the back of the top, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the construction and the hardware and how different tops can be made. Ours obviously pops straight up and down. They all include electric actuators. It works on remote control, so up is up and down is down. The hardware on this, one of the reasons we do electric actuators is because it's very stout and it's very robust. If I grab onto this hardware and shake it, I shake the whole entire van. It doesn't shake the top separately from it. This is important for a couple of reasons. One, in high winds, the only thing you'll get is a little bit of canvas whipping around. The other thing is, if you're in a heavy snow, if you're using it for winter camping and you get snow buildup on the top, it'll hold it. We've had 3-4 foot snows on top of our vans before, and the hardware holds it with no problem whatsoever. A manual push-up top, if it doesn't lock in some way, shape, or form, is not going to hold to the winds. It's not going to hold to snow load. So it's very important to have that. The other thing is, we have a frame rail that runs down each side, and then on the bottom there's a whole halo that goes around the entire van, a big rectangle that's a welded steel frame that's bolted to the frame or bolted to the van. The reason for this is it reinforces the area we cut out for the pop top to climb up in the bed, and it creates a nice robust steel frame and a tray for our bed panels to sit in. That frame creates the backbone for this top. That's what makes it so robust and so solid. Okay, so I'm sitting up here. I have all the windows open. I have this one, the vinyl's open, so it's just screen. This one I have the screen totally open, so you can open all 6 windows. We put one in the very back too. Not all tops will have that window. And get a cross breeze from no matter which direction the wind's blowing. If it's a really hot sunny day, the car becomes more like a pavilion or a shade tree rather than a hot car on a sunny day, because there's always a little bit of a cross breeze up this high and all the heat just escapes right out of the car, so it keeps it comfortable even in the middle of the day. So I also wanted to talk a little bit about the canvas. Colorado Camper Van Tops gets 2 layers of canvas, and if you get the 4-season insulation, it gets a layer of insulation sewn in between it. So if you open it up and you squeeze it, you can see you're getting the face of both sides of the canvas. Plus there's a layer of insulation. I can show you that. It's just closed cell foam in the middle here that goes between those 2 layers of canvas. So the white being the back side and the gray being the front. And that's how the canvas is built. And then if you flip these the screens, this is really important. So all of our screens now, you can zip them open. If you get a rip in the screen, you can unzip the entire screen, pull the Velcro on the bottom, order a new one, and replace the screen in it. Normally, you would have to replace the entire canvas at the cost of $2,000 or $3,000, depending on whose canvas it is and what it takes to replace it. But with these, you can just zip the screen out, pull off the Velcro, put a new one in, and you're back in business. This top here is equipped with a max air fan. The sweet thing about these fans, they run in the rain. They also have a thermostat, and they're variable speed and reversible, so they can either blow air in or suck air out, however you want it. If you have a pet in here and you set it at 80 degrees, it'll automatically open up and kick on at 80 degrees and pull some air through here and keep it ventilated. All of our tops whether it came with this when it was new or not, it's pre-wired for it. So there's a wire buried in the ceiling. So all you'd have to do is cut a hole in the roof, drop the fan in there. Not all tops allow you to have a fan, or an AC for that matter. Our tops, you can put an AC or a fan in it, or both. So if the AC was in this one, it would go towards the back. And we do 12 volt, 24 volt, or 110 volt air conditioners, depending on how you want to run them. For more information on that, just talk to somebody in sales and they'll kind of enlighten you on the different things available with the air conditioning units. That's it. So the next thing we're talking about is lights. All of our tops come with 6 LED lights. Each one has 3 LEDs. There's 3 down each side. They're on dimmers. There's a permanent mount dimmer in the trim up front. There's also a dimmer in the back. That way when you're laying in bed reading a book, you don't have to climb out of bed to turn the lights off to go to sleep. Or vice versa, when you wake up in the morning or in the middle of the night, you can turn them on from bed. So I'm sitting in one of our tops with the top popped all the way up. I'm 6'2". You can tell I have probably about 7-8 inches of headroom. We're in a Ford Transit low roof. They're all about the same, give or take an inch or two. But either way, sitting up in bed on the mattress, I can sit up straight, I can be comfortable. I'm not hunkered down. Headroom is very important. Some of the tilt-up style tops, the problem with those is obviously I couldn't be sitting here. I'd have to be sitting all the way up on the edge. But to get in bed, you have to crawl in, get turned around, and sleep, while the other person crawls in, gets turned around, and sleeps. And then if you have to get out, you have to do the same thing on top of the other person. So we don't make any tilt-up tops. All of our tops pop straight up. They all have right around the same amount of headroom, give or take an inch or two, depending on the design of the top and what vehicle it is, and the roof height and stuff like that. Okay, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about beds real quick. This bed, our panels, they're all removable panels if you get the full cutout upgrade, so that you have sections that you can remove and then the cushion's separate from that. There's a couple of reasons for this. One, the bed sits in the frame we talked about earlier that reinforces everything, so when the top's down, the bed's pretty much locked into the frame there. The other thing is, people ask us all the time if we'll do a bed that lifts up with the top. And we don't do that. There's a couple of reasons for it. One is we have to shrink the bed down to clear the motor and the hardware in order for all that to work. And then every time you wanted to make or unmake your bed, you had to lower your top and raise your top back down. So this allows you, with the top up, in like 10-15 seconds, fold all the bed panels back and have this standing room if you want it. Of course, this depends on the different van. If you have a high roof, low roof, you might just have a cutout, but it depends on the van itself. All right, the last thing I want to talk about in this video is the finish. We have a whole video dedicated to that. You can check that out on our YouTube site. But this one has Raptor line color match. Ours comes standard in white gel coat. And then you can also upgrade it to base coat clear coat, which will be an exact color match and it'll look just like the factory finish. Or you can upgrade it to Raptor. I personally like the Raptor better. It's much tougher. It takes scratches and tree branches, and these big giant vans always hit tree branches. So this is my preferred paint, even though it's not an exact match. It's a little duller and flatter and textured, as opposed to the base coat clear coat or the white gel coat. White gel coat's perfect. If you have a white van, you can just leave it be and have it, and it matches. So that's it. That's my video on pop tops. Hopefully you found it educational. Hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel for more videos, and hit reply and give us some feedback on what you'd like to see videos about, and we'll make more videos based on your feedback. Thanks.